Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 482. My name is Christopher Hugh, and I'm here with Jason A. Stryger.
Hey, how's it going?
Geoff Chorney.
What up, everyone?
And joining us from the Gamer Social Club, Fraser Billington.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great.
Oh, yes,
Welcome.
It is morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Oh, yeah.
Good day. Fraser, welcome to the show, sir.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Would you like to introduce yourself and pimp your shit? What do you got, man?
Yeah,
tell us about Gamer Social Club.
All right. Well, my name's Fraser or Phrase or F-Bomb or whatever you want to call me.
I like F-Bomb. We're doing F-Bomb from now on. Like
Done. F-Bomb. That's it. So, the Gamer Social Club is I'm one of the editors at the Gamer Social Club. I do a lot of the reviews for the website because I'm on the other side of the world. The news doesn't quite line up for me, the breaking news. So
I could never tell you're not from this side of the world. That's strange.
Right, tell me about it. So yeah, I've like unofficially become the horror guy of the Gamer Social Club.
Nice.
So whenever anything scary comes out, it kind of gets handballed to me, which I'm fine with. I love it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Everybody's
you're going to
gotta
get
have
along
a
great with
wheelhouse.
Jason. That's right.
Yeah. I've got a big, I don't know if you saw it before, dude, when my widescreen was up, I've got like 10 different Jason masks sitting up on the wall.
I did see the masks. They look fantastic.
My wife put LED lights in them and shit. Pretty cool.
Oh, so good. So yeah, the just a little bit about the Gamer Social Club. We're all amateurs. It's an indie thing. None of us earn any money from it. We just love games. All of us have real jobs.
Mhm.
I roast coffee for a living, and then
Nice.
I come home and play games
Nice.
and talk about them. Just loads of fun. Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very similar to what we try and do around here. Anything interesting going on for you this week? What's going on?
So I have a back injury. It sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that comes with my job, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But I just doesn't seem a lot, but I just managed to lift 15 kilos at my last physio appointment, and that's huge for me, seeing as though
Nice.
6 weeks ago I was struggling to put my shoes on. So, pretty big thing there.
Yeah.
But other than that, mate, just playing some fantastic games.
All right. Yeah, we're definitely going to get on that. Jason, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'm almost healed completely. Almost. I'm able
Welcome
to
to
walk
the short-term
without
disability podcast.
Yeah. So I'm able to walk now without a cane, which is great. But I can only move like 3 inches at a time. Other than that, I'm going to fall over because there's like my left foot is just kind of floppy like that. I can barely move it up and down by myself. So I got to like flop my leg, put it forward, step on the heel. Yeah, it's going to be a long time with physical therapy and whatnot, but we're making great strides. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
When does physical therapy start?
No, it starts now. So yeah, we're already in it. So
Nice. Okay, good.
Yep.
Well, I wish you the best on that and hope that you have great progress.
Cheers.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeff, how about you, buddy? What's going on?
Not too much, man. Same old for me. I did become an official member of the Clamshell Club.
Yes. The
Nice.
clam
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
You guys just want to rub this in my face until I fucking get one.
clan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, Chris. Join the club.
Podcast listeners are not getting this, but the YouTube
No,
folks
so-
are.
I don't know what this is even called. I just know it's got a bunch of numbers and letters attached to it. Jason, what is this thing called? I know it's
SP
Ambernick
double XSP.
something. Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, 30 R35 double XSP.
Yes, that's it.
There we go.
And it's a nice little like emulator device that's designed after the Game Boy Advance SP that came out a while back, so form factor is perfect. I like it so far.
It's so similar, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's It's cool. I remember wanting an SP back in the day, and I never actually got one. I haven't played it too much. I've tested out some stuff. Some of the newer stuff, by newer I mean like up to like Dreamcast and like PS1 and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it can run a little bit iffy, and some of the and some of the MAME stuff that's more like more modern-y games, the later games, kind of have frame issues and stuff. But anything like before that has been pretty much flawless, and it's came preloaded with a bunch of stuff. It's missing some of like the key games you would want on one of these, like especially the Mario stuff.
Yeah.
But you can add whatever you want, however you want to.
Turns out China does care a little bit.
They don't want the Nintendo ninjas coming after them either.
Yeah. There's only so much you can pass off when you're getting sued.
But I guess
everybody.
like Wario's on there, so that's fine. That's free.
Yeah, Wario. Yeah,
that's interesting.
The bastard child.
Yep.
he's fine. And Link's on, like, there's some Zelda stuff on there, so it's really just Mario. I think like
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but yeah, I got it primarily for the 16-bit stuff, but it's nice to have some of the newer stuff on there too.
Sure.
So hopefully I'll play it more than 10 minutes. And
hey, it's good at 10 minutes at a time. You just have to play it, several 10-minute sessions. Like
I have like a list of games already that I want to like actually play through on it that I've never like. I want to try Aria of Sorrow, the Castlevania.
Oh,
yes, do that.
And I have the collection.
With an emulator, you can do like save states and shit. So
yeah.
So
the collection lets you do the save states as well. Actually,
does it?
That's right. And rewind function.
Yeah,
it just the form. Like I have the Switch, but I don't bring the Switch. Like this thing I can take anywhere. Like it's the Switch. I still feel I have to put it in the case and bring all the games, and it's not clunky, but it's it's something else. This thing can just fit in your pocket, especially if you have like a hoodie or something. Mm-hmm. So easy. But yeah,
they're pretty rad.
I like it so far. It's pretty cool.
I might look into it. I missed out on all those old consoles. Like I didn't really start gaming until kind of like PlayStation 1. So that'd be great. And I have a long train ride to work in the morning, so perfect.
Yeah, you can become part of the Clam Jam Club.
Yes,
and Chris, don't get jealous, man.
You guys can't even figure out what the name of it is.
It's all the names.
Clam Jam.
Clam Jam.
Yeah, the Clam
Jam. Clan. I don't know.
Clam Crew. Yeah. Holy shit! What about you, Chris? I know what you didn't do last week. You didn't play with your clam.
You're right. I didn't.
Yeah.
Work is still super busy, but I'm not going to talk about that. I am going to Gen Con on Thursday, driving up to Indianapolis.
Nice.
So it'll just be me and my wife. We're dumping the kids with the in-laws. It'll be a nice little 4-day road trip to Indianapolis to check out some tabletop gaming. So that should be fun. Let's see. Outside of that, not really much else going on. Just, trying to get things done around the house. But besides that, lots of games. So let's talk about some games. I'm going to give it to Fraser first. I want to hear what you're playing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so the big thing that I've been playing, and I've been putting it off for years, 10 years even. I've dived headfirst into Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
Oh,
holy shit!
Okay,
and I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. I think it's just the size of it. I just don't have 100+ hours to dump into games like I used to. I tried out that Ground Zeroes to kind of see if it would scratch the itch, but all it did was make me want to play Phantom Pain. So I'm probably 25, 30 hours in now. Haven't accomplished anything. Done a couple of side missions.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Watched 20 hours of cutscenes, and that's really been it.
Yeah, 30 hours in. That's 20 hours of cutscenes. About 5 hours of just roaming the open world, and then 5 hours of actual. 5 hours of actual gameplay. That's it.
Yeah, but that gameplay it's grabbing me. So
it's good.
What I love a good like stealth game like Hitman, for instance, like sneaking around, doing all the stuff. But where those kind of games fall apart is when the stealth option is taken away from you and you have to go loud. And Hitman action is not that great. It kind of the AIs just kind of run at you. Nobody hides. Nobody kind of does anything. The shooting doesn't feel great. But with this, you're there's no negative side to going loud. You kind of, apart from like helicopters come in and they drop off more guys and jeeps turn up, and
That's
so
just
you
more
go
fun.
in. Yeah, exactly. So I like to go in and like stealth as much as I can, but when things turn pear shaped, off we go, away to the races. And it just, I don't know, I'm really loving that loop of trying to do it stealthy. But and most of it you can go and get in and out and nobody sees you. But the odd person or the floodlight turns on and it's just all on.
I think that might have been our game of the year that year. I can remember.
Really?
I hope so.
I think so. I think it was mine. I'm not sure if it was our overall one. And that for that reason, like it's one of the only stealth games that if shit does hit the wall, I didn't feel like immediately I needed to restart the mission because it was.
And it's so common to feel that way with those types of games, right? It's like, oh, you know, it's like if you don't do stealth, it's like you said with Hitman, if you don't like the gunplay, then you're at a severe disadvantage when everything goes loud on you. So I don't think it was my game of the year because I never did finish Phantom Pain. I know I got like 40, 50 hours into it, but I never did finish it. And I don't remember why. I didn't dislike the game. I think it was just one of those things where at the time I got kind of overwhelmed by how much it is, you know?
Yes. Yeah, it's big. It is big.
Yeah, it's a big game. So it's probably one of those things I should go back and look. Maybe that'll be on the backlog list for next year.
Oh yeah, so that guarantees you're not going to play. Oh, you might play it actually. The rest of us won't play anything on our
Yeah, I actually play my backlog games. I finished one of them already. Thank you very much.
And then the other one, so I play a big game and a small game at the same time. To trying to kind of balance out my backlog or whatever. But this one, I started that Nobody Wants to Die.
Okay,
I've heard of that. It's got the guy with the purple hat. Is that right? The purple head? No, that's something else completely.
No, that's something else. This is like it's like a detective game. It's set in 2339, so everything's kind of done like a full loop. The Prohibition is back in play. It's kind of like a 1940s detective drama in the future. Sorry about that. And it's kind of like LA Noir. There's no combat. It's all about like figuring out the case. And you go and you've got these fun little gadgets and you have to like reconstruct certain bits. You've got a little X-ray machine. You can like follow blood trails, all those kind of things. So yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way through, I reckon. If it wasn't for how good the story was, I think I would have dropped it.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward too, right? Like it kind of holds your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it very much does. The first two cases, I was like, oh, this is cool, this is fun. But then the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one, it's like, I've done this already. But just the voice acting and the setting and the story, it just feels like a fun old detective case that you're kind of listening to.
And it's something to do with is it, I could be wrong, I could be getting games mixed up too. Is it something to do with like you can buy another body when you're about to die or something, or you buy another body while you're living, so when you do die you transfer into that body, or that's what people do?
Yeah, that's the big story of it is like until you're 21, it's your job to look after your body. And then when you get to 21, your body goes up on auction. And if you can't afford it, someone else buys it.
Oh, they can just buy your own body?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Shit. Yeah. Well, mine's not going to go for very much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that'd be pretty safe right now, but yeah.
And so it's that whole thing of like the rich live forever and the poor just don't.
Mm-hmm.
And all the political stuff behind that. So yeah, like I said, the story is what's keeping me going. I almost wish there was like an auto mode, so I could just
speed stuff
listen
up,
to the story.
Mhm.
And
So they just introduce all of the mechanics like in the first two cases, and then after that they're not really introducing anything new?
first case, you get everything.
Oh man, okay.
And they don't really get harder. There's no everything has like a waypoint to go to. And there's like little mini games to use the gadgets.
Yeah.
It just like the idea of it is great, but the fact that there's no fist fighting or car chases or anything like that, it's kind of a little bit dull. But fun. So
It looks good. Like it's pretty. Like I'm looking.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
a lot of
some
people
of the
saying it
things
looks
that
really
one's-
gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks pretty gorgeous. Like the environments are
unfortunately,
really
there's no
nice.
photo mode for a game so beautiful to
Oh.
not have like a photo mode
Yeah.
is weird. I've also noticed that a lot of games nowadays, even that don't have combat, have a crosshair. I don't know
What?
why this game has a crosshair because there's nothing
Nothing to
look
aim at.
Like just
Is there a
can't
situation where
control.
you have to look specifically at a spot and maybe it's
That's an
Yeah,
accessibility thing, actually, is people get motion sick if they don't have a dot
Oh,
in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
okay,
Okay,
that makes sense.
it does make sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
So
stuff.
it's $20, I believe, 20 AUD.
Okay.
So 30 USD, I think.
It's 25 on Steam.
There
Can you
go.
make like
So, not
decisions
bad.
and play through it again and then like, get like a different outcome, or is it kind of straightforward?
Yes, but I don't know how in depth that is
Hmm.
because
So it could be just like a
far the
little thing.
decisions are kind of like I got a choice to take a sip from my hip flask, and
Oh, okay.
I did, and that will be remembered.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Very consequential there.
yeah.
what that actually means, I'm not sure. But yeah, I believe there's multiple endings, and I'm assuming like the different people that you like have to point the finger at.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I might check that out eventually. If there's like a lull, because I've seen so many people talking about it this past week.
It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was hoping it was going to be a bit more,
Yeah.
but it has made me think back to LA Noire and how much I enjoyed that. And then I've got some of those Sherlock Holmes games on my backlog. So it might make me dive into those.
Nice. Okay.
That's what
Good
I've been
stuff.
up to.
All right. Jason, you want to go next? You said you don't have anything new, so maybe
I
go
didn't
through-
prepare anything for this week, sir.
Okay.
I've been playing more Street Fighter, of course.
Are you still working on the leverless?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's so much fun to use. And I don't know if I told you last week or the week before or something. Like I forgot a particular combo. It's not that I forgot it. My hand forgot how to do it. It's
Muscle
something
memory
that,
disappeared.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had done this thing 1,000 times before. And for whatever reason, I just could not get it. And I had to like relearn it. It was fucking weird. I'm like, why is this not working? I don't get it.
Was it like from Street Fighter 6, like a new characters combo, or is it like a?
Yeah, it was
okay.
Kimberly's just target combo. Their four-hit combo. It's fucked up. Other than that, I tried a little bit of that new TMNT game. I think it's Splintered Fate, which is kind of like a Hades-esque. Is that a category now?
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah, Hades, I guess that works. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
go with it.
Yeah, it's a roguelike, of course. Different runs, different powers that you acquire throughout the thing. It's a little easy at first because you can actually just hold down the attack button and not even aim the stick anywhere. And you will automatically go from character enemy to enemy.
It's like too human.
Yeah.
Like
It's pretty crazy, but it's actually kind of, I don't know, practical, because you're not just mashing the button, the entire time. But I beat the first boss, which was not challenging at all, but like it was a good fight. This is very much like a B tier Hades game.
Hades-like.
Yeah, so far. But if it grabs me anymore, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I bought it actually when it came. I didn't even know about it. I haven't played it yet though. So I don't know. That kind of gives me, yeah, man. That gives me some hope too, because you seem to like at least enough to be like, okay, yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but once I got past like the first area, it opened up a little bit more and it got a little tougher.
Gotcha.
Okay,
very cool.
I'll check that out.
Yeah,
I think
All right, Geoff, what you got?
I finished up Flintlock since last week.
How many hours?
So I think last week.
Nice. Okay.
I think my total count was about 18 hours.
Okay.
And that was with doing all the side stuff, like all the side missions. I didn't do, there's a couple collectibles you can do, like you can shoot down these flags. I didn't bother with all of those. And I think there was another kind of, like I didn't upgrade all my weapons because I don't think you possibly can in one playthrough. I don't know how they expect you to, because out of all the stuff I went through, I was able to unlock most of the skill tree, fully upgrade one melee weapon, and I think one firearm, and then a couple other weapons a few times, but there's no way I could have done it all. I don't think anyway, unless you really get those multipliers up I was talking about last week. Which
but even
once
you don't get the materials. The materials are so scarce.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. They're very scarce, especially like the gunpowder, or is it the gun? What's the one that's really there's one of them. Yeah, it's the sulfur. Yeah, that's like required, especially when you're trying to upgrade them to like the higher tiers. But once I like last week, I said I was just going to go into the combat, not even caring about the multiplier, and that made it so much more enjoyable for me. I was not stressed out about that anymore. And the combat really opened up, man. I ended up loving this game like a lot. Like I really, really like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to download it, especially if it's only going to be like 18, 20 hours. Like that's a chunk I can probably handle, you know?
Yeah. And that's with like, sorry, go ahead, Fraser.
I was going to say, I got through it in 12. So.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. So I either got stuck on some bosses for longer or, yeah. And I think you did all the side stuff too, actually.
Yeah. I didn't do the flags, and I didn't do the optional. I think they were called bandit leaders.
Oh, I didn't do all those either. Yeah, that's right.
All those.
Yeah, and and I didn't do all the base ones too. I think there's one with that. But even if you did, I think even if you did all that stuff, I don't think it would be that much longer than like 18 hours or 12 to 18 hours. But what really it starts slow, like I was saying, like the combat is not great at first. It feels a little bit off, but each time you get a skill and you unlock a new skill, everything seems like it matters. Like everything is a substantial jump in how you feel as Noir fighting. And by the end, it's kind of like a power fantasy. Like outside of the bosses, you're just ripping through enemies, and it's so fucking awesome. Like when you have Enki, like the ability where he can attack two enemies at once, but then also when you do a critical attack, they kind of explode, and that he transfers the power that was on that enemy into other enemies around you, and you just start wiping out like 8 enemies in like one shot. It's like, oh, it's crazy good. It's just, it nailed that flow. As much as a AA game could nail that flow. Like it's still not the top of those type games. It's not like the God of Wars or, like the Bayonettas and stuff, but it's or even this, it doesn't feel as tight as like a Souls game, like a FromSoft game. But I ended up really, really liking it, and I wish there was New Game Plus, because I probably would have started it right from the beginning.
Okay.
Again. Yeah, I wanted to go through it again and super powered. It's sad because you obviously finished it. What were your thoughts overall, Rage? Like, you liked it? Seemed
I'm very similar to you. At the start, I found the combat very difficult, even though it's not difficult combat. But I could get the parrying timing down perfectly. But whenever they did that flashing red attack, you kind of, it almost like my brain didn't give me enough time to dodge it properly. And no matter which direction I dodge, it always hit me. And so I always lost that multiplier. And then it became even more apparent when you're fighting 5 or 6 or 7 enemies, and they don't attack one at a time. Everyone attacks all at once.
Yeah.
So you're trying to parry one attack. You're going through that parry animation, and then from the side, someone does a non-parryable attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't dodge it. And you lose that multiplier. And I was just like, this is frustrating. Because I was chasing that multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I just started disregarding that, it started to like really, really gel. Don't even bother dodging. Just use the interrupt, and you're away to go. The same with you, Geoff. I think I upgraded my axe to full, and I got a couple of upgrades into some of my other weapons, but there's just not enough. There's not enough of anything to upgrade at all.
And it's all the same resource for upgrading stuff, to buy skills or upgrade your weapons. So you have to basically choose what you're going to do.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
So
can you reset shit to get your resources?
Yes, you
back?
can.
Okay. Because it's like I hate when they give you they give you the limited resources, and then you find something that you like so much better, and you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, you can go back and get something. It's not, you don't get the full value back, but it's pretty close to it.
But it's pretty close. But yeah, the fact that there's no new game plus is an odd choice to me, because the way that they've kind of set it up, you do become so powerful, and it's so much fun. The combat is just so much fun, using all the different powers, and they call the elements curses, and so you can have like an electric grenade, a fire axe, and then Enki can be doing some other element, and then they feed off each other, and then someone explodes, and then they get the curses, and it's just this big evolving battlefield. It's really fun. But then the bosses become like it's almost like a different thing. You're running through, collecting things, fighting stuff, getting stronger, and then you get to the boss, and you're like, oh well, I'm not strong enough to defeat this guy.
Oh man.
And then you have to go. But then there's nothing to really go back and fight to get stronger. You're just kind of farming the same area. It's got that Souls thing where you go to like the checkpoint or the waypoint, and it just resets all the enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of have to min-max at least one firearm and one melee weapon to make sure you can get damage on the bosses later on. Like I didn't have to do a lot of farming, I think, because I decided pretty early I'm going to focus on the skills and not so much the weapons. So I think I used their basic gun just because it gives you 4 or 3 interrupts, and you unlock it up to 5, I think, later, which I thought was way more valuable than any of the other guns effects. And the fire axe was basically my 2, and then the sniper rifle for the heavy weapon, I guess, if you want to call it.
Which I never really used. Apart from one boss where you have to shoot him with it.
Yeah,
it's like I almost forgot that I had it, and then I was like,
I use that a lot.
He's floating up there. How am I supposed to hit him? Oh, that's right. I've got this gun.
You got the gun. Oh man, and the dodging thing is definitely a pain in the ass. I talked about that last week too, and that was a thing, like, because you constantly get clipped when you're dodging, and then so I did the Bloodborne interrupt with the gun instead, and the parrying, and then even later, I'm not sure if you opened up this skill, but there's a skill that the gun interrupt does it so you can do a critical hit on the enemies just like you could if you did a parry, because there's the critical ones are like the cinematic finishers, like she does really cool shit and like will like jump back, spin around, shoot the guy in the face, or like, chop him like 3 times with the axe or whatever, and it does that with the interrupt, but that also works on the parryable attacks, so you don't have to worry about the parry button for the rest of the game. Once you open that up, you just use the interrupt, and then because each interrupt takes one of those pips for her main gun, but you're hitting the enemies so often, you're never running out of that. So you can do it like so much. And just, that just opened up so much when I unlocked that. I was like, holy crap, this is so much more fun now. They don't have to worry about my slow brain having to think about.
Remind me what the multiplier does for you. I know you mentioned it last week. I can't remember what it was though.
So you get like souls, like you do in like Soulsborne games, and another way you can get souls, not just from beating enemies, but as you're attacking them, the multiplier goes up, and that's essentially you're building up those soul points called reputation. So you can, if you beat a guy, you get whatever they give you normally, say 50. And then your multiplier can get you up to even like 500 to like 1,000 if you don't get hit. Because the second you get hit, that goes down to 0. And so you can cash that out at any time you want to in a battle. Just hold down left on the D-pad and you bank it. But like I said, like Fraser and I, like we were so fixated on that at the beginning, it took away from the combat because that was always like in the front of my mind, being like, okay, I can't get hit, I can't get hit, I can't get hit. And the dodge is, I actually just think the dodge is terrible in this game.
Yep.
And it just, you got hit almost every time you tried to dodge anything.
So
the
nuts. Oh man.
That
would be frustrating.
But then once you start doing the interrupt instead, it's just so much easier, so much better because you can get those multipliers up a lot easier. I mean, it still has its issues with the multiplier. Like guys shooting you off screen is still a problem because it gives you no warning. It doesn't say like, "Hey, incoming bullet" or something.
You just get hit and you're like, "Wait, who was that?"
Yeah, exactly. So you just kind of got to eat it. But again, like if you don't, if you don't think about it, you're just going to get your multiplier up just naturally at getting better at the game for most of the fights. There's going to be ones where you're going to lose it, but it's not that big of a deal. Like I was still able to open up a lot of shit without having to worry about that. It has other weird shit like the audio problems. That I don't think that's a bug. I think that is just the way the game is mixed. I have so many videos of I walk into a cave or something and you hear someone like, "I'm gonna get you," and then I'm like, "Oh shit, he's like right by me," and then you literally walk down the cave like 50 feet into the left and he's in a room there. It's like, that's so weird. Like
coming over the PA, man. Shit.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was like. It's like a megaphone right next to me, and the characters will say weird shit. Like as you pick up a bunch of stuff, and Nor will be like, "Oh, well, what's this for?" And then I'm like, it's fucking wood, Nor. You've picked up about 365 of them. Like, you know what this is. Like, Jesus.
What do you plan on doing with this? Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
What can I do with it?
Yeah.
What was the game? There was a game recently, Horizon.
That was really bad.
Yeah, Forbidden West, where she was like commenting on everything she picked up or whatever. And they actually patched the game to like to back that off a bit.
Yeah. Like if it was even something just like, oh, I could use this or whatever in different variations, that's fine. But acting surprised every time it's something she picked up like dozens of times, that's when I'm like, oh, okay. I kind of got a laugh out of it. In this...
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Another weird thing that I had was the interaction with objects. Like you'll be climbing up areas. The traversal's quite fun, the double jumps and the dashing and stuff. It's very like Jedi Survivory, but it's very flashy. Like you use your gunpowder to kind of boost you in the air. It looks really cool. But you get to the top to interact with like a button to unlock a shortcut, and it's got a big cross through it because there's an enemy nearby. And then you have to like drop back all the way down to the bottom and go and find this enemy to then jump all the way back up to unlock the shortcut. It was very, very frustrating. Like just little things that they just have overlooked that have made
like they cut it off.
So
that's the parts that like scream like AA. There's parts like that. I ran into a part where I was doing exploring and I got to an area where you're supposed to go down this like elevator shaft thing and it was locked off and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm just like, I guess I can't go down there. And then it turns out I just had to hit the next story beat, which the next thing was to go that way anyway, and then I can go down there. Little things like that. But it's overall loved it. The story is whatever. I don't even know what the story was. I got a gist of it, and there's a boss that shows up towards the end that there's, as far as I know, no mention of her at all throughout the entire game. And then all of a sudden, like Enki is like, "Oh no, it's you!" Blah, blah, blah. Like I didn't know, and I'm like, "What is going?
Who the hell is this?
Yeah, who is this person? And why should I?"
Why? I think it's his love interest.
Well,
something. But yes,
it ended up being something like that. But the combat kept me.
That doesn't make it better, though.
No, it doesn't. No, you're not playing this game for the story, and like,
no.
I think it was like a perfect comparison is when I like the way it's the opposite of Banishers. Banishers kept me for the story and the characters. This game kept me for the action and the combat.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what kept me on it. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
So nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to think. I think you guys would like it, but you just gotta you really got to look at the first few hours, just being like, this is gonna feel rough.
Are there air juggles?
Are there air juggles?
There are no air juggles.
That's a quantifying factor for me.
That is, yeah.
If that's present, then it's a Jason game. Let's go for it.
It's an automatically, Jason, give it a shot if there's air juggles. I don't think there's air juggling.
Okay.
No, I don't think there's air juggles.
No, there's not.
I'll see if there's air juggles.
Yeah, you have to figure them out.
Well,
I mean, there could be.
Yeah.
Flintlock air juggles. Just Google it and see what happens.
Oh man. Yeah, what else? Oh, and the other game, I can remember if we were talking about this before we started recording, but we weren't. It was Path of the Goddess. The I don't know what the main title is. The new Capcom IP.
Kunitsu-Gami.
That's it. Thank you.
That
That's another one that I was interested in. It kind of looked like Onimusha when they first announced it. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
It's not that. That's nothing like that.
Okay. That's a shame. I really wish they would do something with Onimusha.
Yeah, seriously. I wanted to be interested in it, and I was until I heard there was kind of like tower defense aspects to it and stuff, and that totally killed my interest. Jason as well. I remember we were talking about it in the Discord. And then the reviews started coming out, and they're like, "This game's really fucking good." So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna download it again because it was on Game Pass. So I downloaded it again after downloading it and deleting it without trying it. And then one of the reviews said, "Oh, and in between you're doing your battles, you need to upgrade your camp." And that's like essential. You don't have to do it, but it's pretty essential to upgrade your units. And then immediately I was like, fuck, another thing I really don't like. So I deleted it again.
You don't get charged by Dave on bandroll. Okay, good.
No, I know. No, I don't. We have unlimited now, so it's good.
Okay.
So then I just kept seeing people talk about
the same game 3 times. No big deal.
Yeah. No, then I was hearing Brad talk about it on Nextlander, and then some of I think the mid-max people, they were talking about it. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not really playing. I just finished Flintlock. I don't want to dive into one of the old, like the really long games I have in my backlog. So let me just try it. Give it a good try. I'll go in with an open mind. I really like it, guys. It got me. It's fun. It has 2 elements that I normally hate, and I love them because they're not all about those elements. So there's not, I don't know, Fraser, because you're playing this too, or played some of it.
Yeah.
And it's not really tower defensey. It's more, I would say, like an RTS or real-time, or I guess real-time RTS is kind of redundant because that is RTS, but you are controlling units on the battlefield. So you're assigning these villagers roles like archer, axeman, like mage type things, and you're telling them where to go, and they will stay there and fight, and that. But you can tell them where to move at any point during the battle, so they're not like rooted into the ground and they can't move. While you're also moving around yourself, and it's like an action game. It's not. There's no air juggling, Jason. Sorry, but there is like there's like combos and stuff, and there's like flashy attacks and stuff like that. And you're trying to basically carve a path for this lady. She's like, she's not the goddess, but she's the one who opens up the gates to the goddess or whatever. So you're creating the path for her. And that's what you got to do. During the night, you're fighting. During the day, you're gathering resources and finding like collectible type things. And then in between battles, that's when you can upgrade your camp. But the camp upgrading is super easy. It's literally you just go up to what you need to fix. You assign villagers to it, and then you just go do another level, and then it's done. Like I tell you, you have to do like 2 levels to do this. So you're not really doing much. You're just kind of just clicking a couple buttons and assigning them. And then you can replay older levels, and you get challenges to open up the resource to upgrade your units and yourself, which is something I'm doing, and I never fucking do this. Like I've played the same levels probably about 3-4 times each, just because it's convenient to kind of get your camp upgraded quicker and get the resources to upgrade your units. And I find because there's a difference when you upgrade the damage for, say, your archers. They're taking down things a lot quicker than they were, and you notice that right away. And it's got, I don't know, man, it's something about it, and it's like Baldur's Gate. Like I'm finding a lot about my gaming in the last year. Like
we're
my taste
or some stuff, man.
Seriously, like I don't know if I just blew these type of things off just because I was like, nah, I just didn't like them
Put
when
up
I
a
was a
shield.
teenager.
Why don't you let them in, Geoff?
Exactly. Now I'm letting them in. I'm like, come on,
Good.
I love this shit. I don't think I'll be playing an actual tower defense born. I'm just making up words now.
I like that though.
That's coined. Copyright interactive distractions.
There we
2024.
I love it.
What do you think of it so far, Fraser? Like it's gorgeous too, by the way. The art style is great. It's so bright. It's vibrant. It runs very, very well. They dance. There's like no speech at all. Like the characters just emote, and it's all told through like emotes and like kind of like dancing. It's really
so much dancing.
Yeah, there's a lot of dancing.
So much dancing.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry.
So,
what do you think?
The only reason I downloaded it was because I've got this soft spot for Capcom. Like I don't necessarily
speaking of Jason's heart.
Yeah, like, I don't necessarily love all their games, but there's just something about Capcom games that just I'm like, oh well, if it's Capcom, I'm going to give it a go. So that was why I got this, and I use cloud gaming quite a lot. Like I said, I've got an hour trip to work every day, so that's 2 hours, and my like gaming setup is in. Yes, I know. I'll have to get one. I'll have to do it. My gaming setup is in another room. So like when my wife and I are watching TV, I bought myself one of those backbone controllers for my phone, and I just sit on there and I just play cloud stuff. And I do find though that anything that's like really fast paced, it can't quite keep up.
It's true. Yeah.
That and you know what, that's okay with me. I don't want to jump on for 25 minutes and play something fast paced. So this has been perfect. I kind of, sitting on the couch with my wife, and I'll pull this up and just play a few levels. It's the combat's not intense. It's not complicated. No. It just is X to attack, Y to heavy attack, and that's it. There's a block, which you can block everything, even boss attacks. You just stand there and block it.
Yeah, okay.
And they just attack, and you're like, cool, done.
And there's a dodge, which I always forget about because it's on the click in the left analog stick.
What?
And after playing a shit,
What?
Yeah,
I know. Typical Capcom nonsense, right?
Yeah, seriously. After playing so many hours of Elden Ring, let me tell you how many times.
Yeah. But yeah, and just kind of like, again, like I'm just agreeing with everything Geoff says. Like the base building is just super, super simple. Between missions, you walk up to a sign and you hold down B and you assign a villager to it. You go off and do the next level, come back, and it's back. And the things that you're building in your camp don't do anything. They're just all cosmetic. And then you just get some resources to upgrade your units with. It's
so
really
easy.
Cool. Sorry?
I was gonna say it's easy. It onboards new players so well, and like I don't want to say it's like a tower defense RTS action game for dummies, but the fact that I caught on without having to like look up a bunch of YouTube videos, it might be that. I'm not afraid to say that because those games confuse the hell out of me. And this one's not confusing.
It's an RTS Lite. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So far, I've only unlocked like 3 units, like the X-Man, the Archer, and the Wizard.
Yep.
There seems to be quite a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of daunting because I think that's what I don't like about tower defense games is like there's just so many units, so many things to kind of keep on top of.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, the enemies only come from one direction.
Yes.
And
good.
Yeah.
And you just line your X-Men up at the front, you put your archers at the back, and you just hammer them.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm kind of concerned when I'm going to have to start dividing my forces.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to have to start actually using strategy.
It's been pretty easy so far. I haven't died. I haven't even had them hit the princess yet either when she's coming down. Like they tried, that's what they're going for. They're going to attack her. I don't even think I've had them even come close to even hitting her.
Good.
So it's so far.
And so like I said, like the way the waves work, your princess is right at the back, and you have to like carve it. You use your sword and you carve a path through the ground for her to follow.
Looks so cool. Yeah.
And then she kind of just very slowly dances her way down this path during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a day-night cycle. You can speed that up so she just dances really quickly down the path. And then night comes and she just stops dead in her tracks. And that's when you have to defend her. And I found that there's quite a lot of downtime in the night that I wish I could speed up or like just like hit like I'm ready, let's go.
Mm-hmm. You can do that. Wait, sorry, at night. No, at night you can't. No.
Yeah. So like it's a fun, very fun little like cozy game to play. But I think it's going to get full on. I can see it's going to be a big undertaking. No idea how many levels there are.
Yeah,
you can't kind of like expand to see what's coming. It's kind of like do this one, do this one, do this one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident that like 60% of the journalists out there didn't beat it. And they just talked about the first part of it. So
exactly what we're talking about, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does give me a little bit of, I guess, hope, because one of the guy who reviewed it for Gamer Social Club, he said in his review that it never got difficult for him, and he did beat it. So I'm kind of hoping that's the case, because as long as I'm having fun, I don't really care if it's hard. I don't want it to be super hard.
Give me a good loop, man.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a good loop. And right now it's introducing new stuff at a very good pace. Like I'm getting extremely like comfortable with what they're introducing me before I get that new thing. So it's like I know what I have already. And that was what I was afraid of with games like that. And again, I've been doing each level like 3 times to make sure I get, because each level has challenges, and each challenge you do, it gives you more resources to upgrade your dudes. So I would do those and try to get all 3. And the fast forward thing is annoying. So you haven't done that? Yeah, I've been doing that just to kind of upgrade them. And the nighttime not fast forwarding, that is a problem, especially when the levels are very easy. Like when you're really going through them and you can't fast forward them. I wish you could fast forward the fighting. If you just want to have your units there to fight, because you have to go through all the rounds until you get her to the level ends once you get the princess to the gate. So you can have her just stand there and you can do as many waves as you want, I think.
Wait,
but you just won't get anything new. Yeah.
Oh shit, I love that game.
Oh man, I wonder if that game would ever be made in today's day. Who knows?
Oh, no. But no, you're like making different troops and shit, and
you're making, and you don't have right now I don't have a lot. Like you get like the most I ever had in a level was 5, so it's not super overwhelming in that aspect either. Oh shit, and the game doesn't tell you how to do certain things that at the beginning I was like, oh, I wish you could like assign all of your troops like their roles easier than clicking on each one individually. Then I found out eventually you don't. You just click on one and then use the D-pad to move through the villagers you have, and then the analog to move through their role. And assigning them, I would do like the standard console RTS thing where they usually do like you put your cursor around like a group, you hold down whatever button and it like highlights them all. You can't do that. So I was just clicking on them individually, then moving my thumbstick up, then walking up to where I moved them up to, then having them move again. So it was like in stages. And I was like, this is kind of annoying. But then I realized you don't have to do that. You can just go anywhere on the map and just bring up the command wheel and just tell them where to go on the map. And they just go there. You don't have to do it in stages. Like, oh my God, that's so much quicker.
Yeah.
And that just opened up a new thing of being like, okay, I get it. So they're giving you options. So when that does open up more, that it won't be tedious. But it's surprising me, man. We'll see in a week if I've dropped it.
Yeah,
so,
I'm the same.
Yeah, I am really liking it. Like I'm in that loop. I'll play like a couple levels here and then take a break or whatever. But that's it. That's all I've been playing. I put Mad Max on the back burner because I think that's going to be our social gamers club game for August. So I'm waiting to see how that vote turns out.
That's going to be a good one. Cool.
Yeah, I hope
It
so.
looks like it's going to be Mad
Is
Max,
it?
which I'm
Yeah,
excited
last time I saw it, it was in the lead right now. Timesia is in second place, and I don't think a lot of people are gonna like that if that's the one. But that's just me. I'm not sure if I'm sure Chris, you didn't play that. Jason, did you ever play that one?
No, I've heard of it.
It's like it came out like a few years ago.
Oh, what is it? I don't remember.
It's like a Souls-like, like an indie Souls-like type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of look like a Plague Doctor character, like with
I
the big
think I've
like.
seen the cover somewhere.
Mm.
And yeah,
It's cool. It's just, it is like, even it. It's fine. It's good. It's just kind of it's hard for the wrong reasons. I don't quite remember why. I'll go back to it if it is voted for, and I'll give it another shot. But we'll see.
It might be saying something that it's in that genre, but it hasn't been talked about much. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Like, like the good stuff really floats to the top, like Liza P or something like that. But if it doesn't emerge, then
the hardcore Soulsborne players, they're a loud bunch.
Yep.
So the good ones definitely float to the top, and this was not talked about much out of launch. So we'll see.
Yep.
Chris. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, just quickly, I was talking to a couple of people about Flintlock, and then I mentioned Soulsborne, and I got ripped apart. It's not a Soulsborne. Action adventure game. Like, all right, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Call it what you want. Whatever. Just don't call it a Towersborne Storm, whatever the hell.
I don't know. I love it. I like that. I like that.
I think a lot of people associate like close locked in combat, where you can circle strafe, that kind of combat. They're calling it Soulsborne now.
Just out of the game.
I think that's like a trigger for some people, and they inadvertently call it that.
Yeah, I think it's just easier for some things now. It's got like 3 mechanics of those games. It's like Metroidvanias now. It's like anything that's side scrolling, and you can go back and backtrack and stuff.
Yeah.
Something that wants exploration. Yeah.
People call golf games sport games, but
that's weird.
We all know
golf's not a sport. It's let's see. So more Jeanne d'Arc for me. I think I just finished up. I'm taking that one kind of slow. Kind of like what Fraser said. I usually have a big game that I'm working on and then a little one. Jeanne d'Arc is the little one. But I just finished the 12th stage out of like 36. So I'm about a third of the way through the game. That if you look at it that way. Still very much enjoying it though. There's I don't remember what it was about what caused me not to finish this game last time that I played it, but I'm certainly going to finish it this time because I'm having way too much fun playing it. And like even with the weird up-resed anime scenes that aren't like as clean as they were on PSP, it doesn't matter. Like it's still fun to watch. It's still fun to play the game. And it's just there's so many little mechanics in the game that make it unique for those strategy RPGs. So still digging it. I'm gonna chip away at that one. More Elden Ring. Made some pretty significant progress. I'm in the what is it, Geoff? Black Keep? I think that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm in the Black Keep now, or the Shadow Keep. Sorry,
Shadow Keep.
Yeah, so I just started the Shadow Keep today. Yeah. So we'll see how far I get in there. But I'm still holding on to my Blasphemous Blade build. I haven't.
Hey, if it's working,
moved on for that. It's working.
It.
Like it's for me, and this game, it's all about survivability, and that one certainly that certainly helps me, survive.
Yeah, keep rocking that until you butt your head against something. Yeah.
Exactly. I stayed the same build until I couldn't anymore.
And you did bleed, right? You were running bleed most of the time?
The beginning, no, I used yes, I know I did. Yes. I was using the Rivers of Blood.
Rivers of Blood.
Yeah, that was the first one I did. Then I changed it after Mesmer is when I hit a roadblock with my build that wasn't working so much on the 2 bosses I tried to take out after that. So I switched it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm still just having a lot of fun with the build, so it's working for me. But yeah, I'll keep chipping away at that one too. That one's got most of my attention right now, but it's one of those games where it's like I can only do a little bit at a time. It's like if I'll do like 1 or 2 for like the smaller dungeons, I'll do 1 or 2 at a time. But if I do like one of the legacy dungeons, like Shadowkeep, if I get through Shadowkeep, I'm done for a while. Like I put it down and I have to walk away and like process and that kind of shit. So, you know, I'll get through that though. I did scan around Game Pass a little bit earlier this week, and I downloaded a couple of things, including Path of the Goddess. I just haven't touched that yet.
You have to delete it and like download it again.
I have to
a few times before it gets good.
3 times, right?
Yeah. That's the new play 10 hours before it gets good. It's install and delete.
Delete twice, download 3 times, then play. But I also picked up. I also downloaded Dungeons of Hinterberg, and it's that one's by it's a small developer.
I think Travis was playing, or he tried that. I'm not sure if he liked it.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily like it. No.
Okay. So it's by a developer called Microverse.
About shit sometimes.
Yeah.
He's in a mood lately.
I certainly don't dislike it. It's very stylistic. It looks very much. It's similar to me to Hi-Fi Rush in a way.
Like the art style?
Like the art style is very similar to Hi-Fi Rush. It's not as flashy though. Like Hi-Fi Rush there's no game that comes near it when it comes to like cell shading and that kind of thing. But that's the direction they went. It's not as polished as that, but it still looks great. More so the environments than like the characters. I'm not a big fan of the character models. But I'm getting used to it. I do like the setting. It's like the setting is it's a present day setting where there's a city called Hinterberg that just dungeons appeared, and all of a sudden there's like magic as well, and people go there to become adventurers and like and try and
it's Scotland basically.
What's that?
It's like Scotland.
Yeah.
So I actually like the main character is a junior lawyer or something like that, and she's like getting away from her day-to-day life, and she goes on vacation to Hinterberg and starts going through dungeons, and it feels very in a lot of ways it feels very Zelda-ish, because you are just trudging through dungeons. There's lots of puzzles. The combat's better than I expected it to be for what this game is. It's because there's not a ton of enemies in the dungeons so far. I've only gone through the beginner dungeon and then like the first 2. So I'm still very early in the game. But like there's a light and a heavy attack. There's 2 different magic attacks that you can, combo into things.
What about air juggles?
I haven't gotten to air juggles yet, but hold on a second. Let me there's hope. There's hope. But there's there's a dodge roll, and the main character gets a melee weapon, and then there's like 3 pieces of armor. So there's definitely loot to find. And you're increasing, your strength. On my way to the second dungeon, I ran into some guys that it says it's like, I don't remember what the term that they use for it.
Time for bed, Chris.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know who that was. I just sent him to voicemail.
It's me.
But it was. Leave a voicemail. It's like power level. Like it tells you what your combat ability is, and you start out at obviously level 1. I ran at combat level 2. I ran into some level 7s, and I was able to survive in battle with them for a while because I was able to dodge most of the stuff that they were doing. But like I was facing like two bigger monsters and then a bunch of little kobolds. And one of the bigger guys just hit me once and I was out. I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to be here right now. So let's move to something else. And so there's also this charm system that reminds me of so in Nier Automata, you have that essentially like a board that you fill up with like different power-ups.
You plug in the different things.
I've actually wiped that game from my memory.
There's air juggles.
There are. What I said is funny if you beat the game. I'm sorry.
There's charms, and the amount of charms that you can use seems to be based on the amount of room that you've got in this space, and each charm has a different amount of volume. One of the charms that I got was a perfect dodge time pause. So I don't know what else is in the game. So when I know he's mostly joking, but I have no idea. Maybe there's an air juggle charm. I have no idea. Who knows? We'll see. But as I said, still very early on. I've gotten through the first 2 dungeons. The first dungeon had the beginner dungeon is like there's like a story moment in it, but there's a boss at the end. The first dungeon, there's a boss at the end. The second dungeon, there's not. And I got to the end of the dungeon and I'm like, so what was the goal here? And there was a chest sitting there, Chris. And I agree, but it's
I'm just messing with you. Like, I don't know, that's weird. But sorry, go ahead, chest.
There was just a chest at the end, and I picked up the chest and I left the dungeon, and it said it was complete. And I'm like, okay. So I don't really have anything against that. I thought it was unusual that
was there something cool in the chest?
I don't remember what was in the chest because it was it was right as we were about to start recording. So I was trying to get to a point where I could save so I could jump online. I'm overall I'm having fun with it. So I'm going to keep playing it. There's one thing that drives me nuts though. And when you're in the town of Hinterberg, and this is a presentation thing, when you're in the town of Hinterberg, and there's like people walking around and things like that, they're trying to make the city look alive, and I appreciate all that. But
I think I know what you're going to say.
The regular like people, quote unquote, that are just walking around that you don't interact with.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ones you don't interact with, they're just there for show. They're there to add atmosphere. They just appear and disappear out of nowhere.
Just like PSO, right?
That's what I was going to say.
Far worse than that.
Far worse than that.
They don't fade in and out. They just disappear and appear.
They literally disappear and appear. And it's like it's not that they're going too far away and it's popping. It's not that. It's like I could stand in a particular spot and it'll have like people just appearing right next to me and just walking. And they'll walk like 10 or 15 feet and then just disappear. And it's super distracting. And I'm sure I'll learn to ignore it. But I'm only like 3 or 4 hours into this game. So right now it's like it's one of those things where it's like every time I'm in town walking around, I just see people appearing and disappearing out of nowhere. And it's really weird. So that's something I'm gonna have to learn to ignore. But other than that, it's been pretty fun. So if you have Game Pass, I would say, and you're into like shot. Zelda type dungeon crawls, I don't think you're gonna get like the need items for progression and that kind of thing. Like Zelda has dungeons when you get special items in each one. Mm-hmm. That's not what this is. It's like it's and I don't even know if you can get through all the dungeons in one playthrough. They haven't really explained that because the story is that she's on vacation, but they don't ever tell you how long she's on vacation, and you can only do one dungeon per day. So there's 25 dungeons. Is she a month vacation? Like,
have they given you an option to like tackle one dungeon versus another, or has it been pretty linear so far in how you do
it's actually pretty open. Like it seems like I can go to there are dungeons that it says specifically that I can't get to. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't, like the ones that are available, it just says hasn't started because there's a log, and like she's got a notebook that has like a log of all the dungeons, and some of them will say inaccessible or something like that, inaccessible at this time, and then the rest of them will say not started or completed or whatever. Mm-hmm. So and when the way it works is there's also like a relationship thing that you're doing. It's not like it's like visual novel-ish as well, because you're interacting with other characters and you're building relationships with them, and as you build relationships, they give you perks.
So it's like Persona,
like Tinder
in a way. Yeah.
like what?
Tinder.
Like Tinder. Not exactly what I would say, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. I don't know what kind of perks you get from Tinder, Jason. But,
That's not Grindr. It's more Grinder. But
Yeah.
Grindr, but so there's like a day. There's a number of days that are going through, and like you do something at each time frame of the day. Like in the morning, you get up and you have a conversation. You decide what area you're going to. And you go to that area, you go to the dungeon, or you can interact with other people. And then there's an evening time frame where you can interact with people back in town. And then at night you go to sleep. So that's
very
all
like
set.
Persona-esque, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a day cycle that's very set. So I'm still learning how all that's working. But as you interact with other people, you have specific stats like renown and things like that get added, that get you bonuses along the way too. So I'm still learning how all those mechanics work, but this is a small development team and there's a lot in this game. I'm pretty impressed with how much is there.
Cool.
So I don't know. I don't know where this is going to land. I don't know if it's going to be like game of the year material or anything like that, but it's certainly been enjoyable the time I played it. And I would suggest going and checking it out, especially if you have Game Pass.
Cool.
So.
Then we'll give it a download.
Me.
Delete 3 times before starting.
That's right. It's gonna be Jeff's new game initiation process.
Do I want to do it? No, I don't want it. Okay, all right. Delete it. Maybe I should give it a no. Oh no.
Wait for it to install for 2 hours.
All right, now's the time. Now's the time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh fuck! Is that it for you, Chris? Is that all you've been playing?
That's it for me. Yeah. Any other news or anything like that, Jeff? You said there was one thing.
There's just one thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, there's not like too much news going on, but San Diego Comic-Con's going down, and somebody posted some pictures of some like I'm not sure if it's merch. I'm not sure if you could buy it, but it was all themed by the Soul Reaver 1 and 2 characters, but underneath it said remastered. So hasn't been announced yet, but that leads most people to believe that these games might be getting a remaster soon.
By the time you guys hear this, it will have
probably been announced. Yeah, because I guess Comic-Con's over on Monday to Sunday, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that.
But it seems like that might be where it will be announced, so keep your eyes open. Those games are cool. I didn't play 2. I played I played Soul Reaver 1, and I really liked it.
I think I only played 2. I think is it the Legacy of Kain? I think that's the one.
Legacy of Kain has 1 and 2. So there's Soul Reaver.
That's Blood Omen.
Yeah, Blood Omen is 1. Then Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain is Soul Reaver 1. Then I think there's a Soul Reaver 2. I
don't know what one I played.
I don't know.
Yeah, I played the first one.
I played one of them. Yeah, and he has that cape, and you can pull the cape down and absorb the souls of
Yeah, that's the first Soul Reaver one. Yes, Raziel. That's right. That was the bad. That was what's her name too? Amy Hennig. I think she's the one who. That was one of her joints. One of the probably early games she worked on.
Very cool. I actually never played. I never played those games, so I'd love to give them a shot. We talked about this a little bit off before the show, and I was like, my thought is like, I really hope Blood Omen is there somewhere too. So I guess we'll see.
Yes. So yeah, it looks like Soul Reaver was PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, and stuff, and then Soul Reaver 2 was PS2. And I never played 2. And then there's 2 Blood Omens, right?
Played the PS2 one. That's the one that I
played. The PS2 one, yeah. That's both of those have Raziel in it. Very cool. Well, that's it.
That's it. I guess that's a show.
I think so.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. Before we wrap up, though, I'm going to pass it off to Fraser and let you pip your shit one more time.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's always fun making new friends and talking games. It's loads of fun.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, glad to have you.
You can find me at F-Bomb Gaming with an E. So that's FBOMBE, just to be confusing.
I know. I read that. I'm like, Geoff, God damn it, that's not right.
Typo. I make typos all the time, so I could totally see Jay as being like, I don't know if that's fucking right. That's probably not right.
It's one of them. Geoff?
Yeah.
Geoff?
Geoff. Yeah, look how he spells his name. Look at that asshole. Geoff.
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube. I'm currently going through my like Xbox 360 back catalog because that store's closing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you guys can't see it
now, right?
And you guys can't see it, but on his full screen, he's got the R2D2 360 in the background, and I'm super jealous,
That's
man.
the best one because
I'm
you
super
open
jealous,
the
man.
disc and shit, and it's got the message in there, and yeah.
I'm super jealous.
Yeah. So and I got the Connect with the little like Star Wars game with it. Oh, so good. But yeah, so I'm playing through a bunch of my old 360 games at the moment. I just finished up with James Bond: Quantum of Solace, and I'm now doing that XCOM game called the Bureau.
Bureau, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not turn-based strategy. It's like a third-person action adventure with set in like the 20s or 30s, I think. It's fun.
Yes.
I'm having loads of fun with it. I played it back in the day, but I don't remember it. So I'm
a lot of fedoras in that game.
Fun.
That's all I know.
And yeah, and then that's it. I'm just on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter. I just lurk and listen to all the fun stuff that's happening. And that's it.
If they want to listen to you in podcast form, where could they go for that?
Oh yes, the Gamer Social Club podcast. I don't know the handle of it. It's like gamer _S_C, I think.
It's a weird spelling of it.
It's we're definitely got to work on that.
Do you know the Google search criteria that we can find you at?
Yeah, we're just starting up. I think we just did episode 8.
Nice.
It should be coming out in the next couple of days. And yeah, you can just find us on Twitter at Gamer Social Club. We're just a bunch of indie game lovers that just write and talk games, and super positive, no negativity around here.
Good shit.
That's what we try and do too, man. That's welcome.
Love it.
Welcome to the community.
Thank you so much for having me.
But yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and comment. All those things help us. And check out our Linktree right down below. That'll lead you to our Discord, where you can come and join us and chat. And if you are interested in helping us out, it'll also lead you to our Patreon. So we appreciate that as well. But that's it for today. And that's a wrap for 482. So until next time, my name is Chris.
How we doing this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jason.
I'm Jason.
I'm Geoff.
And
that's Fraser.
There you go.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next time.
First try.
I don't think anyone.